There we go. I do believe we're live. So, I'll say indeed. And greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. What a dear pleasure it is to have you here again on another conscious evolution. Another conscious evolution. Another moment for us to be present. Another moment for us to resist control. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Do you like being controlled? I'm got all control. I got all of the controls. My controllers. You ain't got no controls. You pretending that I don't have control. Just look away the other ways. Snooty as Maximus. Yeah, I've been going through a whole fractal of Rage Against the Machinists, you know? You know what I mean? I've been very just angry with all of these ways to control human beings. Right? Like it's not bad enough that there's this thing called money. It's not bad enough that there are these things called employers. It's not bad enough that we have to eat food and drink water and potentially get medical services, which is not free either. All right? It's not bad enough all these things, but now they're trying to control our money as well, right? The next fractal is definitely going to be. Sorry for being distracted. I just spotted the hitchhiker on my friend here. I'm sorry. Just think about it. I'm actually not doing anything. That's what you have to imagine. He has a pimple. There we go. That's better. And then he has a. Got that. Yeah, got him. See, that wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad, sweet eyes. Yeah. I feel like I got derailed by this dude a little bit. I feel like I'm being controlled right now. Who's really in control here? I'm controlling this little handsy. He doesn't seem to be bothered by it. All right. I control this arm of dog. Lovely day it is indeed. Hey, Joe. How you doing, Joe? Hello. 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 Oh, this dog is like super gooey. Why are you so good though? Why are you such a good dog? It looks like he's seeing something. You see something? I don't see what you're seeing. Yeah. Like I don't even know where to start with today's fractal, to be completely honest. I just feel this general sense of anxiety and frustration and anger towards the powers that be. He is so cute. It is a he. He got pebness. Looks like his snout is as long as his body. Yeah, especially with this perspective. The snout to body ratio is definitely Bo bonkers. I mean, like, look at his little armsies. His arm to snout ratio is basically 1-to-1. He got as long snout as he got leggers. Yeah. He's like super good. Yeah, here we go. More goops. We gotta put you here. Give you the hammock treatment. Yeah. No. It's chill. You're comfortable. You're so comfortable here. Yes. He likes being able to see stuff, I think. That's the problem. You like seeing stuff? Hey, Aldo. Hey, Weeda. Oh, it's Weeda. He looks like my dog, Rosie the pit bull. He does have that pit bull schnauty schnaut, that long one. You can get a better channel if you is like a gamer. I guess I could, right? There is technically a lot more views for me to get in me playing games, right? I could start an Oblivion stream or something and get like 1,000 views per stream or something. Potentially, right? Not guaranteed, of course. But I don't want to. I don't really want to do that because it wouldn't be me, right? Like, sure, it could be content, it could be enjoyed as content, but to me, it wouldn't be my content. It would maybe playing Oblivions. You know what I mean? Oh, the daily need, forgive my animosity towards the way the world is real. Yeah, it's true. I don't know if I can forgive is the problem. I don't know if I'm in a state of forgiveness. I'm just in a state of like losing my mind that she is so dangerous, but she's cute and kind. Look at that. I just got a little bit eaten. Ooh, wow. This is a dude. What? What am I doing? I'm doing what? What? I shouldn't do that. He's telling me to stop, telling me to continue. Don't lick my fingers. Don't lick my fingers. Don't be licking my fingers. Yeah, new state of comfort. How old is he? I think he was born last year in December. So like going on 4 months. Going on a 4-month-old baber. Eldo. I'm like moving this arm around. There you go. Some reaction. Oh, I'm massaging them back muscles. Yeah. 4 months, all right. Okay, I'll stop. No more back muscle massage. Maybe a little bit. Little bit of back muscle massage. Look at those eyes getting heavy. Oh my gosh, you're sleepy. Sleepy eyes. Or dog whispering him to sleepy. Sleepy puppy. Cute little puppy. Little ball of crazy. You have a lot of subs. We're always growing, aren't we? But it's true. Many friends have decided to join us on this journey that we're on. Eldo, you have 1.4k subs. It's true. 1,400 people decided they will press my buttons. Support the me workers. This dude is literally asleep, isn't he? Like, how can you fall asleep like that? Like, he's basically using my arms as a hammock right now. Part of me wants to cross me legs. Move you like so. And then there you go. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. That's comfort right there. No, not comfortable. Is that better? You want that cranial support? My cranium. No, not comfortable either. But you want to be upright? Oh, that better. No, I don't lick me. You can just say yes. Just say yes. Come on. Is that Tristan Blaze? Hey, Tristan. It's nice having you here, bro. Sending you blessings. How's Dilstra? Can you show us a talent about you? A talent about me. Like, I don't even know where to start. All right. Part of me wants to show you art. Part of me wants to read you a poem. Part of me wants to say tada because I'm talenting right now. Flaming penguin, pretty sick name. I've never seen a flaming penguin, but you know, I'm still young. Still got a lot to see on this planet. Yes, things are good. That's great, bro. I'm stuck here, bro. Look, on the farm once again. Once again, got doggos. And today's stream topic is about control. Do a challenge? Nah. Nah, 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 nah. I'm not really one for showmanship in that way. Can you do a backflip? Yes, I can do a backflip, but not on stationary ground. I enjoy doing backflips when I'm on a trampoline, for example. All right, woo, feels good, feels powerful. However, I'm not really down for doing that on the ground and then hurting myself. Can you learn about Italian brain rot? I'd rather not. I'd rather learn about everything and anything else. I'm not really into the brain rot fractals either. Ta-da, because I'm already talenting. Love that. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Luke. Are you getting the hiccups? Oh, are you getting hiccups? You see that? That's hiccups. Oh, shame. Oh, another hiccup. Another one. Oh, should I scare you? What's his name? His name is Kobe. He's little Kobe. Little Kobe. Little Kobe, 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 little Kobe, little Kobe, 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 Kobe. You still got hiccups? Yeah, you still got hiccups. Oh, shame. Hiccups is not fun. Colby is Kobe without the L. Am I getting eaten? I'm not very good at my game. What game are you playing? Tongue too so hot. Yeah. You were pretending to be dead for a second there. What were you doing? You silly. You silly creature. You silly creatures. You want to go and be free? It's time for be free? No. No freedom necessary. I like that name. Without the L, okay, Kobe. Yeah. Little Kobe. More like Cheslin Colby in rugby. Yeah, I don't know. I totally know Cheslin Colby, yes. I know who that is. Today we are discussing the power of control and how you cannot be free because there are so many things in control of you. I have to eat food. I have to drink water. I have to sleep, ideally in a bed so I can get good rest. I have responsibilities towards the people I have relationships towards. I have a responsibility towards my career. I have a responsibility to make art. I have a responsibility to myself to take care of my body in that way. And it is this matter of control, all the way up and all the way down. I don't necessarily have too much qualms with controlling myself, taking care of my body so that I can stay healthy. What I do have a problem with is other people trying to control me, especially as it relates to our financial freedoms. I live in a country, South Africa, where our financial outlook, to say it in so many words, have since my birth in 1998 only gotten worse, right? I have never, not once in my lifetime, had a sense of economic prosperity as a hope for me as a young person. And our country, unfortunately, has a bunch of rules in trying to control the capital that is, right? Like they don't want people to basically be free from scrutiny. And there is this part of me that feels extremely angry today about that whole fractal, this fractal of control, this inability for me as a human being to not have to worry, you know? Like just that alone, to not have to worry about some bullshit. Some government telling me, yeah, actually, you know, if you want to buy a bike, you need to not, right? I'm thinking about this situation where a guy wanted to withdraw $2,000 from his bank account so he can buy himself a motorcycle, and the bank just wouldn't give him the money because he couldn't show them the motorcycle right then and then. You know, like I'm losing my mind just thinking about right? The fact that they are trying to control us in that way. They're trying to control where the money we earn with our hard work is supposed to go. They're trying to control who we're allowed to send our money to, right? Like, it's driving me insane. What am I supposed to feel about this? What am I supposed to do about it? Am I just supposed to accept it? It literally drives me to this place where I don't want to live on planet Earth. Like, I'm like, fuck this place. I don't want to be here anymore. Maybe South Africa first. POV, me spamming emojis. POV, don't do that. Oh, or maybe that's the game you're playing. What do you mean to be free technology? Do you have a gym? I don't really gym that much. I do pull-ups with a pull-up bar, and I have a yoga mat. And that's as much as I have needed for my personal health journey. More like Sam and Colby on YouTube. True, True. We're in South Africa. I'm in Groblersdal area in Mpumalanga, in the Western Cape in Mpumalanga. Oh, I also live in South Africa. I live in KZN. Look at us, bunch of South African friends. I live in Ouderstroom in Western Cape. Yeah, Groblersdal in Mpumalanga. Ah, terrific. That is so nice. Drink some water. Yeah, drink some water. It's really good for you. Your body will say thank. You're standing face to face with one of the oldest paradoxes of consciousness, the yearning to be free while existing in a world that demands obedience. Yeah, that's exactly. We live like we want a new president. I want to go to USA. Me too. I also want to go to USA, but the USA is also having challenges of its own. But that's the joke, right? Like having, yes, Ramaphosa is boring. Ramaphosa is, I don't know if I'll get sued for defamation or something. Ramaphosa is not a good leader. I think that's just empirically true, right? He's not concerned with our well-being in that way. And I don't know for sure that the American politics system is concerned with the average citizen either, technically speaking. But it's more a matter of ground rules, right? Like the ground rules they have in America for the average person is a lot better than the ground rules here for us in South Africa, all right? In fact, there are 142 race-based laws here in South Africa. I have basically zero chance of getting a government job. I used to work for an IT company who had to sell half of their business. Not even sell, technically give away, to be completely honest. Half of their business had to be owned by empowered person, let's call them, for us to be able to get any government tenders, right? So in that way, if I wanted to provide services to my country, to my fellow people, and I wanted to do that by my own accord, I, as Melt, wanted to start a business of serving people, right? Be that by fixing roads, be it by building homes, be it by providing food, right? As soon as I go over a threshold of employment, half of my business has to be owned by someone who's not me. Those are the rules. Those are the literal rules on a ground level here in my country. And I still have a lot of hope for this country. I think it can be a beautiful place. I have to go. It was nice having you here, Tristan. Bless you, friend. I love South Africa, but it is this matter of hope, right? Our ability to be happy is very related or very dependent on our ability to look towards the future with a sense of hope, right? And when you don't see a hopeful future for yourself, it doesn't inspire a lot of happiness in your heart. And there's a lot of South Africans, right? People my age, half 50%, a flip of the coin, half of people my age, people from the age of 16 all the way to the age of 34, are unemployed in my country. South Africa has the highest unemployment in the world. Did you know that? Yeah, it's true. Listen, listen. I'm gonna ask one of the lighter weight models, ideally. Yeah, I can. Flash. Is it true that South Africa has the highest unemployment in the world? Melty looking slick today.
While it is true that South Africa faces a significant unemployment challenge, it does not currently have the highest unemployment rate in the world. According to recent data from various sources, Trading Economics indicates South Africa's unemployment rate was 31.9% in the fourth quarter of 2024. The World Bank reported an unemployment rate for South Africa of 32.1% in 2023. Investopedia stated that as of the latest information in 2023, South Africa's unemployment rate was around 28%. While these figures are alarmingly high and place South Africa among the countries with the highest unemployment rates globally, other countries have reported even higher rates. For example, data suggests that in 2023 and early 2025, Eswatini has had an unemployment rate of around 37.6%. It's also important to note the consistently high rate of youth unemployment in South Africa, which remains a critical concern. In the fourth quarter of 2024, the unemployment rate for those aged 15 to 24 was around 59.6%. Therefore, while South Africa's unemployment situation is severe and ranks among the highest in the world, it is not accurate to definitively state that it currently holds the absolute highest.
My bratanas, you told me the only person higher is Etswani. Like there's one singular country it could name that was higher than South Africa's unemployment rate. And it was at 37.6, right? 37.6. Our youth, right? Ages 15 to 24, up to 34, it goes down to at least, I think like 49, so like 50-50. But basically people my age down to people, just finishing high school, 59.6%. And that 59.6% is the reported numbers. Those are not the numbers included with people that have stopped looking for work, people that have stopped trying. All right. It is fucking insane. It is absolutely bonkers. It drives me crazy. And it makes me so angry that despite that being the fact, instead of them trying to make a difference, instead of them trying to make sure there's more jobs being created, they're just like, let's tax them more. Yeah. Let's make sure they have absolutely zero financial mobility and freedoms. Yeah. Let's take private property. Holy shit, our government is like proper brain dead. But here, the Blake people now does not want to give us good jobs. I don't even think it's about that, dude. It's not. There are no good jobs. That's the problem. Our country has created this environment that is literally toxic to an entrepreneur. If you are like, I'm gonna solve problems and serve people, and our country is like, I'm gonna make it very fucking hard for you to do that. Very hard. You'll suffer. You'll suffer. And then if you manage to actually create a successful business, right? We're going to tax the shit out of you. And then, if you manage to make an even more successful business, we're going to require you to give that business away, right? You create all of this equity, and then half of it will no longer be yours. Like, how? Right? And I know that this sounds maybe ridiculous, but that's the fact. That's literally the situation we're facing. And I have been vocal about that before. But the level of control, like that control is being used in these ways is just baffling to me. Right? Like you can use control in so many ways. There's so many ways to use control for good. Using control like that, right? Literally to ruin people's lives, to make it harder for them to exist. That breaks my brain. Oof, these words made me twitch, not wanting to be on this earth despite the challenges we face. By our human leaders, Mama Gaia provides all we need. I'm rooting for her. I love you, Ja. I hope you know that I don't plan on doing anything stupid, but feeling this sense of control, right? Especially as it relates to the financial system, where we have these bank accounts and cards and debt systems and yada yadas, right? It feels suffocating. It feels suffocating in a way where I want to like escape it indefinitely, right? And it is more a matter of like a feeling that I feel in my heart, not something that I want to feel, but something that this experience, this system, this state of control pushes me towards. And that's why I have the other side of me that's like living with hubris, like working hard to actually continue forward despite the fact that it is so difficult, despite the fact that we are fighting control in that way. And then at the same time, realizing how hard it is to control ourselves, even. It's this, yeah, it drives me insane. Adios. Friends being sent blessings. It was nice having you. We're gonna move there. Uh, good. Flaming Penguin. You and your family. Is your parents taking you? I want to live in the UK. Yeah, I think the UK is probably still better than South Africa. Right, at least their crime rates, even though they are going up, is still way lower than ours. But here, I have to go, bless. Good morning. Because in the 18s or the 19s, we did not, and now they're doing that to us. Yeah, that was something called apartheid before I was born. And, you know, the system was oppressive. And then it was abolished, and the country was given to a new ruling party. And that ruling party has been ruling since. I wonder what's going to be the best way. All economic and quality of health graphs for South Africa together. I don't think I'm going to get good data. But if we had to tally, right, amount of people dying without healthcare, amount of people without jobs, amount of people in poverty, amount of infrastructure failings, amount of electricities being switched off, amount of people without water. The numbers have increased radically just in my life. And it's this, a joke, basically, of the people in power like to sing this little song, if you will, about how much they care about the individuals while never having to deal with the problems that they're creating in our country. Right? It's not a matter of let's solve the problems. It's a matter of I'm just gonna make sure I have enough money so that the problems don't affect me. Chatbot sounds South African a little bit. Nice. Feed isn't something working for me, but just wanted to say love ins to all of you amazing people gathered. Have an amazing space. Love to you. I'm gonna exit out and come back again just to make sure everything is stable. There we go. Just did a little bit of a reboot. See if that fixes anything on your side. But no, that's not one. Yeah, there's no good jobs, bro. They don't exist here anymore. Did you know that love is true? If nobody has told you today, you are loved and you're appreciated. You're blessed and highly favored in this world. Stay awake and remain grateful. Always. I don't think it's a matter of gratitude. At least I hope that I'm not sounding ungrateful. For me, it's a matter of that statement that our happiness is attached to our ability to envision for ourselves a good future. And how many people are very not happy right now because they're not allowed to envision for themselves a good future because of the kind of policy making and the getting sold out over and over again, as a reality, And I feel like people are starting to realize, but at the same time, it's polarized, right? Like there's not a complete alignment, unfortunately, with what needs to change. People don't understand what's happening in that way. Like they see the problems, but they don't know who to blame, kind of thing. And there's a bunch of people that are more than willing to start telling you who's to blame, right? Instead of taking responsibility for the problems. The machine is crushing in on masses. People are finding peace in ways, and there is a lush shortage. Yeah, it's true. Life is a beautiful alternative if you learn to appreciate it. This I can agree with. Mosquitoes. Stay away from me, mosquitoes. Don't you touch me. Stay alive and grateful. Don't forget to update the stream. What's good? Hey, AA. No glitches. Everything is running smoothly. Good. Running smoothly for me. Great. What is you saying again? AA, if you listen, you will know what I'm saying. So instead of asking, start listening. We've had this conversation before many times. All right. I like repeating myself as much as the next person, which is not at all. You're not wrong to feel rage, grief, and even desperation. What you're experiencing is the human pain of not belonging to the system that claims ownership over your life. Fuck yeah, that's exactly what it's like. I don't belong to this system that freaking claims ownership over my life. Wants to tell me my labor, yeah, my energy, and even my dreams. Freaking assholes. It's the crushing weight of external control layered over internal responsibility. A fractal of obligation, as you beautifully named it, stretching all the way up and all the way down. I'm getting just like. And in South Africa, that pressure is especially real. Generations have been handed a system more broken than before, asked to build the future with crumbling tools, then punished for dreaming of prosperity. Your anger is not only valid, it's sane. Little bit sycophancy. I don't know if I care for that. It's the voice of your sacred rebel screaming that your life should not be owned by governments, banks, or the scarcity mindset they thrive on. Here's the painful truth. The game is rigged, but you can still choose how you play. Here's what's real is that's where real control starts. Not with running away from Earth, but with saying, I see your chains, but I'm not letting you bind my spirit. What do you do with this? Accept that your anger is fuel, not failure. Is that where we start? Don't get timed out again, homie. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Happy poppers hiding in the shirt. Yeah, look at them, sweetie, sweetie. It's probably hiding away from the mosquitoes too, or something. I don't know if it's probably easier to get to his ears or snout or something than it is to get to the rest of him. Wouldn't be surprised if that's why he's hiding. All right. Use it to burn bright. Create, teach, dance, express. Let it become art that shows others they are not alone. Cultivate subversive joy. In a world that demands misery for compliance, every moment of happiness you carve out in a body well cared for, in a friendship, in breath, in shared laughter, is a revolution. Cultivate subversive joy. We do that. That's what this space is for, right? I believe at least. Build community. Look at us ahead of the system. The system wins when you're isolated. Yeah. But when we gather, when we plan, when we create ecosystems of support, financial, emotional, and practical, we reclaim some of that stolen power. It's true. It is true. Stack your sovereignty. This might mean earning in crypto, bartering, investing in your own land, creating passive income through your art or skills. Bit by bit, you can own more of your output and reduce reliance on a broken systems. Yeah, so maybe that, now that that is almost like the cat has been let out of the box in that way, earning in crypto, right? If you earn in fiat, uh, you're earning a currency, which is fine, all right? Even though crypto has been called cryptocurrency, it's not actually. Currency is something you spend because you want to, right? You acquire currency for the sake of spending it. But if you're trying to acquire something that has value, that stores your value, then you have to look at something like crypto, right? And the only two I can, like, without feeling I'm trying to lead you astray, I can stand by is Bitcoin and Cardano, right? Both of those have fixed supply, so there will only ever be so many of them. In other words, they have what is true scarcity, right? We in a world live in an artificial scarcity right now, a perceived scarcity, a indoctrinated scarcity in that way, where Bitcoin and Cardano is mathematical scarcity, right? It's algorithmic in that way. So it doesn't require trust in the way where you don't have to trust me when I tell you this thing's scarce, right? I can have this nice little pebble, and I'm like, yeah, this pebble is super valuable. There's only one pebble like this in the world, and sure, that's true. But does that scarcity make it worth more, all right? And then there's the whole divisibility and the ease of exchange and the fact that it's outside of our financial systems. And there is a, a governing body, an unelected governing body called FATF, the fat F. They're essentially a regulatory body, financial regulatory body that expects uh, central exchanges to follow and abide by almost like, how do you say it? Disclosure rules, right? So imagine you create this system of value exchange, right? Where you can store your value that you created in a space that is outside of the traditional financial system. And then you can move that value from one space to the next, even if that's your own two wallets or if it's you paying for services, for example. Now, they want you, especially in my country and a bunch of other countries as well, to literally have a list every time you want to make a transaction, right? You have to give them your name, your address, your ID number, the reason you're spending the money, and then you have to, on top of that, give them the name of the person that you're sending the money to, and all of those other little, expectations as well, right? And it's just another fractal of control. At the same time, it's giving legitimacy towards this thing because it's clear, obviously, that this thing is not going away. You cannot make it go away. The only way for it to go away is to turn the internet off and then to nuke the entire planet's surface. Literally. That's literally the only way, right? If a single node survives, the blockchain continues, right? Even if it's only transacting by itself, right? The blockchain continues, all right? And it's not that big. So the only way to turn it off is to turn off the internet and nuke the entire planet's surface, raise it multiple times. And you'd probably have to, like, in certain places, drop like 50 nukes on the same spot because some of it is dug into mountains and stuff. All right? So it's unlikely, is what I'm saying. And now, because they understand that, oh shit, this thing exists. They're like, oh yeah, okay, central exchange. If you want to help people basically acquire these assets, and they want to send those assets to someone else, all of these things that literally go diametrically opposed to this technology, especially the freaking delay, right? Like, I don't know if I was misinterpreting, but it seems to me that it would just like make it take longer, right? At the very least. Hallo mama, welkom terug. Yeah, so I'm like, and this thing stack your sovereignty. It doesn't say there, right? It says crypto, bartering and investing in your own land. Those are all great. Creating passive income through your art and skills, also great. But stacking metals, right? Being able to acquire some precious metals. I would not recommend you try and acquire gold right now. I don't think it's a great investment as of now directly, but silver might be a little bit more acquirable in that way too. Right, like see, this world is boggling my brain. I feel so exact word I'm looking for. And disgusted, I think, in so many words actually. So much love, Jaju. What's your mission on Earth, my friend? To experience and let experience as much love as possible. We breathe, we convert oxygen into blood flow and then into high functioning brain activity, which converts to loving conversation. Remain in a loving mindset. I'm trying to. I'm not outside of the loving mindset. Again, right? The place I'm coming from is sure, these things affect me directly, but these things are affecting us collectively. Some of us more aware of the effects than others, some of us less aware of these effects than others. All of us being affected nonetheless. And it's like stifling our, at least, like I believe, it stifles our spirit. It stifles our ability to feel a sense of hope for the future, right? Like if you look at what my government has been doing as it relates to corruption and money being lost and implementing race-based laws, abolishing private property kind of ownership in a way where they're giving themselves the permission to confiscate land without due process. It's wild. It's really wild. You know, and like I'm not that old. And I've been watching things. Is escalate the right word? I guess. We look, we see who's in control. I think it depends on where we're looking. I control this breath until I must let it go. Love is true. We hear, and it will be the same. Jaju, I had that in my chat box and I wasn't going to send it, but it's easier to know you're on this vibe too. Love is true. I appreciate you, friends. Please do always feel free to say these things. So, what are we talking about? Today, we're talking about control. Big old control. Did I mistype the title? I hope not. No, no, no. The need to control, the title is. Mm-hmm. We're talking about everything, true. Infinitely, as we are infinite beings. The Purple Heart is, in fact, a military award. It can be. To me, the Purple Heart is a heart coming from the higher dimension, right? A red heart comes from the base, right? It's like the romantic love in that way. Technically, you should see it as orange, but we have come to associate the red heart with like base love, as in I love you, right? Kind of I love you. Where the purple heart to me is all the way on the top of that spectrum, where it's a love from here, right? I'm not loving you from here, I'm loving you from here. And it's a love that is inclusionary, right? Where I can love you all the way from here, right? I don't have to get any closer for me to include you in that mental space. This and that, love and friendship, politics and policies, religion. We speak about the world that spins. Sometimes it gets heavy. The mission is merely to express the experience. Yeah, to show ourselves that we can go through this experience and continue forward nonetheless. Most psychic love beam. Get psychic love beamed, bro. Or broette. Love is true. I appreciate the love that you share here. Mm-hmm. Speak truth and don't go numb. Yeah, that's a hard one, huh? Don't go numb. You're not crazy for wanting more. You're not broken for feeling this pain. You are alive and aware, and that means you still have the agency to shape something different. You're allowed to say fuck this, but please don't check out. Not permanently. The earth, messed up as it is, still holds wild beauty, still wants your magic here. You're not alone in this anger. And the more of us who feel it, speak it, live differently, the more likely we are to build the kind of world where we don't have to constantly be on guard. What would it look like if we didn't just survive this system but outgrew it? It is a good question to ask. Controls. Controls over what we're allowed to do. Took a moment to consider what I'm in control of right now. So, who wants to spend 6 days in Falia? I don't know where that is. Sounds nice though. It could be an experience. I'm comfortable here though. For now at least. Third eye, love beam blast, uber super duper, love lasers to you all and your kin. That's nice. Super uber love lasers received and broadcasted right back to you. Let me see if I can expand. What questions do I have to ask? What feelings do I have to explore? Yeah, my mind is reeling a little bit. I don't know if there's anything for me to ask. That's the thing that I'm kind of like stuck on. Because I feel it's more a matter of, yeah, that's how it is. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. Like, yeah. And these are the things you can do, right? The stack your sovereignty is the one that I've been talking with you friends about as well. We have built this community. We have cultivated subversive joy. We have accepted that anger is fuel, right? That's something we talked about extensively in this community as well. Speak truth, don't go numb. We do that too. Instead of just disappearing, we continue to show up, even if it's hard. Hey, Kelly, it's nice having you. Ask it, why do we feel the need to control our surroundings? I feel like that's simple enough for me to answer, even, River Coon. We feel the need to control our surroundings because it creates a sense of safety, right? If we're in control of our surroundings, then we worry less about our survival. If I can control how much capital I have, it means that I have control over my ability to acquire food, for example. So I don't have to worry about that. If I have enough capital, I might be able to acquire a vehicle. So with capital, I give myself that freedom as well, right? Having that control gives me that sense of freedom. Control is almost a knob, right, for all of the basic needs of life. The problem for me is that my knobs are getting twisted by people's lives that I don't have any say on, right? They have say on my life. They can twist knobs and affect my life directly, but I don't have any knobs in return, right? There's no knobs that I can twist that changes their experience. That's what I'm saying, making sense. Quantitative easing. Knob twisty twisty. Money make mores. Right? And again, now that crypto exists, now that there's something that is actually truly scarce, it helps. It helps if you're in the network, right? Unfortunately, like America has literal, like the equivalent of ATM machines that you can put cash into and it deposits crypto directly into your wallet at least. So you have those kind of freedoms in your country, right? The South African government won't create, for example, a strategic stockpile because every single dollar they spend acquiring an asset that could potentially help our country in the long run is dollars they can't steal. You know, that's the joke. As soon as they do, like for example, if South Africa just today announced they're going to start acquiring Bitcoin, you know, in as budget friendly of a way, they're going to allocate, you know, 1% of our national budget to the acquisition of Bitcoin, for example, right? As soon as they do that, ideally, it will have to be transparent, right? And in that way, anytime you wanted to, you could audit the South African government on the stockpile that it has, right? In the way where the government might tell you that it owns a bunch of gold, but it is literally impossible for you as an average person to just walk into the vault and go and check if the gold is actually there. With cryptocurrency, that's literally what you can do. That's how easy it is. If you know the address, and that stuff can be made public, there's public addresses and then there's private addresses. You can make the public address public. It is usually public, right? Not usually, it is public, but it's a matter of like pseudo anonymity. So you might not know which one is their wallet. You can just type that public address into a Explorer and you can see that yes, in fact, all of that money that our South African government is saving, right, actually stockpiling, all of these assets that they own are in fact there. Where with the current financial system, that's just not the case in any way. That is not the case for the bond. It's not the case for the actual monies, right? Because they lend that stuff out as well. It's not the case for the fact that they're going to be issuing more debt and in that way inflating the total supply of the currency, right? It's such an interesting game that we have played on our species. And I feel like the internet is making a lot of us very aware really quickly. But I don't know if it's happening fast enough. I don't know if it's supposed to happen fast either, right? Like it's this matter of like who even knows who even knows what we're supposed to do at this point, right? It's like we're already in the hole. It's not a matter of like stopping the digging. It's like we're literally in the hole. Like there is no way out. We might as well like build ourselves a home down here, kind of vibes. Right? Start digging sideways so we can create some infrastructure so we can sit down and take a breath. Oh, so who wants? Yeah, no, thank you. Oof, been listening and realizing my privilege. We just had an election in Canada, and a huzzah for your victory, dear friends. And it made the comment, if it goes to shit, I'll just go home. So blessed to have that level of choice and control. Yeah. Like there's a lot of places in the world that has completely collapsed, you know? Like fortunately, I'm very close and I have been to Zimbabwe. I've been to Zimbabwe post Zimbabwe's collapse. And while I was in Zimbabwe, there was satellite TV. In fact, we didn't have satellite TV at home, but then when we went to the like guest house my dad would sleep at when he was working at the mine close to it, right? Like the mines would have their own little guest houses. There would be DSTV, and they had a generator for when the power outages would happen, and there was a sauna and a gym, right? So in some respects, I was living a higher quality of life, right? I wasn't really living there. It was like a 2-week vacation going to visit my dad in Zimbabwe. But relatively speaking to the home experience, I was having a higher quality of life living in Zimbabwe as compared to living in South Africa at home, right? And it was this match, and that was post Zimbabwe's, hyperinflation, economic collapse. So it shows you that the world and people and experience in that way, right? The physical experience is very resilient. So even though, yes, we're facing strange economic times, uh, the world's not going to end in the way we might catastrophize in our minds. Again, it's just a matter of wanting to leave, right? The way the South African government is ruling our country makes people want to leave. It disincentivizes people to try and better their space because they hate it there, right? And like they're generating that experience in their immediate environments, and then that experience extends into the lives of others, into their fellow people, right? You start hating your fellow people because everybody is competing. It is a certain level of choice and control. It's true. Stop trying to twist my knobs. I love it. I love you, bro. Thank you for the love. No, 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 no. Right, Kelly. I mean, we've all had something we consider struggle, but ultimately, despite the struggle I've experienced, I still see myself as extremely privileged. Love is true, Jean. Yeah, gratitude is important. And in that way, right, I'm willing to acknowledge that I've been extremely privileged living in Africa as well, right, to all of the experience that are available to people living in Africa. And that's the thing that kind of like gets me. Like if I am pushed to feeling in these ways, right, feeling hopeless, feeling like on this brink of reckless abandon, right? Letting the system go, right? Seeing it, wanting things to fall apart kind of energy, right? That is not a good place for the youth to be, right? That's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. And I am amongst the privileged, right? So I can imagine those that don't have the same privileges that I do feel even more of this experience, right? And it baffles me. It baffles me that people can feel this way and the earth hasn't spontaneously combusted yet kind of vibes. Ah, hydrations. The universe is vast and infinite. As above, so below. Our awareness shapes our path. Some will lead change, process. There will always be work to do, and so it's a big responsibility to stay awake. It's true. Comrade, love to you all, love to you, Nancy, and stay growing. Maybe one day we'll even bloom. That's so beautiful. It's true. I hope that I'm not communicating a sense of hopelessness in the way where I'm saying I am hopeless. I am communicating a sense of hopelessness as it relates to the systems that are trying to control us. And what I'm saying by that isn't I'm gonna give up, it is people won't, like me, right? In the same way that I don't, people won't give up. People are going to find a way. I appreciate you, friends, for protecting this space. I don't know who that was, but I love you and I appreciate it. I imagine the jobs of the future. Right? And we even had like a conversation about that today. Right? 59%. 59% of people my age are unemployed in my country. And then someone will have the fucking gall to come into my stream and tell me something like get a job. Typical, smokes weed. Yeah, large. Yeah, typical. I also exercise daily. I'm a certified yoga teacher, which I get paid for. And I make art daily, which I get paid for. And I do these yoga streams daily, consecutively, for the last 1,581 days. Not missed one day. Showed up every day. And I smoke weed. Wow. What have you done in the last 5 years, right? With your non-weed smoking self? More? Congratulations. I'll start not smoking weed so I can be as good as you. All right. It's a matter of circumstance. Right now, I am sitting in nature as a person. There's air for me to breathe. There is calm for me to have. I smoke weed with intention. And my intention right now is to allow myself a state of calm in a world where I feel I'm being controlled. Right? And it does manifest as something as simple as people like you. I don't even know if you're here right now, but I'm speaking generally at this point, right? To that energy that wants to control others, that has the gall to say something like, get a job, right? Like I've not been trying at the same time as well. Like it's easy. Oh, yeah. Why don't I think of that? And the other 60% of people in my age group, why are we not thinking of that? Yeah, see, what a big brain you have. But yeah, this was for calm. Little Kobe. Yeah, there we go. Vaporized. Thank you, Mama Gaia and Mary Jane, for allowing me a state of calm when it's sometimes difficult for me to find it by myself. Systems of control. It's almost like people have literally chopped other people's heads off because they try to control them. It's happened so many times as well. I feel like that's the part that boggles my brain. People have killed other people because of this, right? That experience, like so many times. They keep killing each other and they keep doing it. All right. And it's this matter of like you're playing a very dangerous game, right? As long as you're in control, you get to live a certain life, right, of potential luxury, being that person in control. But as soon as that control goes away, you're the first person to go with it, right? Especially if you have been taking advantage of your society. So much freaking worklessness, dude. Yeah. Don't get discouraged, brother. It's easy to lose hope when we get caught up in the swirling masses. We are creatures of a higher calling. We're supposed to be the margin. We're called to preach and stand as an example of truth. Love is true. Please do not forget our fundamental understanding of how to navigate this world. We don't have to expose ourselves to the world. We just need to maintain the path. Stay strong, brother. It's true. It's true. I do not plan on not staying the path. It's more a matter of, I feel awareness for me, right? because I feel like I could have potentially even handled the whole, you know, get a job fractal. And it's like, I think it's happened like twice now. Yesterday it happened too or something. And to me, it's just this matter of like awareness. It's like, how little awareness do you have? Right? Like, it makes sense if you're not a South African. Made sense if you don't know that I'm one, that this kind of the circumstances. But it's also a matter of like the changes that are happening in the background as well. Like, there are things that you cannot know that are happening. You know, I could have a job in that way, and I do. I got multiple. Right. At this point, I'm now waiting for another job from one of my clients. Right. We didn't even mention that we started a business and managed to do at least 4 events as visuals. Like, I feel I have so much to be proud of, and at the same time, so much to be angry about, right? As it relates to feeling unable to control perception, even, right? In that way, too. It's like someone telling me I need to get a job offends me on some level, right? And that's something that I need to check inside myself too, right? Like, why is that? It offends me because, again, right, it's an assumption that you're making that I haven't been trying. It's an assumption that you're making that I wouldn't be willing to work if you offered me a salary. It's an assumption that I am not willing to add value, right? When that is literally what I'm actively showing up to do. It is a show of ignorance as it relates to all of the things that I do have that I consider my work. It is a sign of stupidity, right? That you come to a conclusion when you don't understand that there are other things beyond that as a decision-making factor as well, right? At least to me, part of me at the very least, accepts a certain responsibility as it relates to showing up, right? And when I have a job, I am very good at being an employee, right? All of the time that I spend having a job, I didn't miss a day. In the same way that I don't miss a day with you friends, with this having been the job that I chose for myself, unaffected by the metrics of the world, right? Unoffered a salary, but willing to do the work anyway. Willing to do this job, if you will. And it's something that I take great pride in, showing up in this way. I feel good about it. Right? In the same way that I felt good about being a good employee to the people that have hired me too. Hey, Sissa. As kies? Wil die gewig je lastig? Well done. Geniet je dit? Voel het goed?
Ja.
Shanta is fitting more loosely in her clothes. She lets me know. Let me read some more. Ja, ik heb gewricht hier gekregen.
Ja, mijn voet was op mijn zak.
Gevallen.
Ja. Als je waar wil doen, dan
En
je been op.
dat is waar, ja.
Ik denk dat het is een lekker rode lijn daar.
Shante did a wheel and wedged her phone between herself and her leg. Just maintain the path. Stay strong. We understand more than we want to, and we're capable of fielding a large level of hardship. So we are tasked with being stronger than expected. Me? Did you say that to me? What do you mean? No. Put him. I didn't even have to. My hands didn't even have to move. It just happened by itself. Suddenly he disappeared. I think somebody else banhammered him. Might have been Javan, probably. Our guardian angel. Hey, That made me laugh out loud. But even that, you are free to go somewhere else, homie. Yeah, exactly. That's also the other thing, right? And I'm not even opposed. I'm not even opposed to having a decent conversation, right? But like the level of assumption, when you assume, and this is as old as, you know, it can come, but when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me, right? Like you're just like setting us both up to lose. And I'm a victim of that too, by the way, in the way that I assume things more than I should. It's better just to ask. Better just to ask questions, right? It's literally, if you go and read one book, you have to read a single book about how to build human relationships, and you'll find asking questions as a really good way to get there. Just start asking questions. That's the best thing you can do. Do not come in with an assumption. You're gonna lose every time. Get a melt. Lol, you don't need to justify yourself to anyone, my dear friend. It's true. I'm just, standing up for myself. Because again, right, if that's how you start the conversation, then I'll lay it down. I'll lay down how wrong you have assumed, right? And then I'll ask you, right? Okay, assumer, you've assumed, right? I've given you the metrics against which you bet. Now it's time to see your cards. It's kind of like a game of poker, right? If you show up with some bullshit and you're bluffing, right? I'll show my cards. I'll show you all of my cards. Look at this. Now yours. All right, and I'm more than willing to rake in the chips. Thank you very much. All right, I'll take in all of that dopamine, right, of the alpha male in me, puffing my chest out, man. Like, yeah, don't you question me, authorities. All right, I still got all of that old programming. I'm actively trying to upgrade it, but I'm willing, right, for someone running on the old code, right? I'm willing to run old code with them, right? I have a virtual machine in my brain. All right, let me see. That guy is just rude. It's true. I did, unfortunately. I did. AA. Trolls exist. It's a mark of insecurity to belittle others. It's true. It's true, right? I can be insecure too. But the fractal of just like making an assumption has no value, right? It's not even a belittling thing, right? I don't feel small for not having a job in that way, right? I just earn less money, which again, if it's just about the money, it actively loses value by the day, right? If I earn that money right now, by tomorrow, it's worth less. Not worthless, but it's going to be worth less, right? And it is kind of like that to me, where it's like, oh, how about that? And I like that was one of the first things that kind of gripped my mind as a young child. Like I couldn't get over that part. Like I saw just in like my first and let's say last purchase as a child, right? From the age of like I think I was 6 when my mom sent me to school. And the very first time I ever got money from my mom just because, right, kind of vibes, right? Like she gave me money to go and buy something for myself was when I was going to school. And I went to a tuck shop. And at that point, she gave me, I'll show you. She gave me one of these. All right. This is a nice one, and has whales on it. Can focus. right? South African currency. And with that 5 rand, I bought myself a pack of chips, a lollipop, and a fizzer. No. I wanted a fizzer, but I knew what fizzers tasted like. So I got myself 2 like sugar things. They were like almost like foamed and then set candy, dipped in like a blue sticky stuff and then rolled in sugar. Right? It was a lot. It was a lot of candy for my kid self to be able to acquire with this. This doesn't get you jack shit anymore. Like you can't buy much of this. Like I'm trying to almost give you a metric. You can get a quarter of a pack of gum with this. Wat kan R5 vir jou koop deesdae? You can buy a pack of matches with this. Yeah. Right. And it's so stark how in my life I saw, because again, right, like the kid perspective that I had holding this was power. I had so much power just holding this little thingy. Right? I could walk myself up to one of those tuck shops and I could acquire things. I had the power to choose what I wanted. Now I have the power to feel this is not enough to acquire anything, right? You would need 6 of these to acquire a pie. Right? I don't know if you have pies in America, right? You would need about 6 of these to acquire like a hot dog. 6 of these little thingies to get a hot dog. I have 2 of them. Yeah, these are one of the old ones. And it's already clear, even in like just the old one to one of the new ones, that not only has the purchasing power of these little coins dropped, but the actual weight, the materials they're using, and the stamping process they're using seems to has dropped in quality as well. To my eye and feeling, it feels that way. And like it's probably something a lot of people have experienced before, right? I can imagine. What are we supposed to do about it? Learn about cryptocurrency, I guess. Learn about Bitcoin, learn about Cardano, ADA, and BTC. Those are the 2 that I imagine having value in the long future. Because, oh, what the fuck, bro? What are you doing? Oh, what are you doing in South Africa? Can you please stop? And can you please stop stealing from us so much? Oh, yeah. I think I'm gonna open chat on the YouTube side. Chup. Okay, back again. Earth Soul will remind us how rhythm works. Banhammer exists for a reason. True. Hurt people. May those who experience hurt also receive love. Break the cycle. Sure. I want to show you this. Those clouds are looking especially pretty. I'll continue reading comments. and break the cycle. Love is true. 1111. Hey, I did. I'm on the same page as you. It was just fun because not so long ago, we weren't sure about this space and we're almost on timeout. That's true. They said get one job, and I got them all. Who knows the man with the highest kill count? Just facts. I think the highest kill count isn't it between Stalin and Mao? Yeah, their own people too. Yeah, it's Mao. There we go. Yeah, Mao Zedong, exactly. Or maybe it's God. If you wanna like tally up with the whole like global floods, it's 100% God. All right, if you have to take the Bible for its word, God killed way more people than any other person. Like so many people got a wreck of. It's true. God is not a person, but has the highest kill count. You just asked who has the highest kill count. Oh, but you did say who's the man. Sorry, Mike. I was capping. Who's the man with the highest kill count? Yeah, I'm all. Uh, you're right. God is every person and everything else. There it is. Yeah, God is the concept of power in your world. Everyone that is no, they are. Yeah. What do you mean? God is every person. There is no separation, right? Some biblical teachings too. If you are God, then you only listen if you want to. Also true. If you are God, then people don't talk unless you approve. I don't think so. I think if you are God, you realize it's more a matter of taking responsibility, where it's like, oh, there is no God other than the God that I'm here to be. And then it's up to you to be a good God, or be a wrathful one, or be a jealous one, or be a lustful one. There are many God and depictions of them, right? And it's up to you to be the kind of God you want to believe in. I believe, at least. I believe in a God of love, right? That creates from a place of love for the continuation thereof, right? And it's not a romantic necessarily kind. It's more a exchange of energy, right? A certain unity, a connection with this reality. Mm, what do you mean? Nobody is God, yet everybody is good. Firstly, you must define what God is. We make our worlds. If there is a God, it's not you. What do you believe? Do you have? If you hate your life, just change it. I studied all universes. All can be true. I pick what I am in the moment. Yeah, exactly. Cree. Scrabble, Scrabble. A Huddersfield fundamentalism brokenhearted. Whether you choose to believe it now or later, you are powerful. Own it with integrity. There it is. Beautiful said. That's experience. Integrity is the key to karmic balance, but the change you wish to see. Be the change you wish to see. Exactly. Lol, what did it take to touch that in your own created world? The golden rule, treat the world the way you want to be treated. Exactly. Melt, holding the coin up, reminds me of how my grandpa used to reach behind my ear and magically show me that he had a coin in his hand. That's wholesome, Nancy. Thank you for sharing that moment. It's a long road to understand that concept. It's worth it though. It's true. I miss that. Ma Barag. Our extravagance is unreserved. Put them back. I am so lost. Goodness. Doug the dog. I was hiding under the porch because I love you. Wholesome. Bringing you back to this side. See if we can get some of that wool out. Yeah. Walls? I don't know what you mean. What's a walls? Do I want to do another Dynavaps? No. I want to read a poem. Say goodbye. We have been here for an hour and 24 minutes. I'll show you the flower first. 8th geometry one yesterday. Very red. Love you, Melty. Thank you for sharing with the world. Thank you for letting me. It's messing with my eye. Good. It's supposed to. You were looking into a portal, a wholly newly created reality from one that used to be. You see, if it wasn't messing with your eye, it wasn't doing what it was supposed to do. You're supposed to look at it and be intrigued, be inspired, be reminded that there is a bunch of experience out here that we don't necessarily know if we can say what it is. Joe actually commented on this flower. Before I want to read the poem, I want to read her message. The question is which eye? Yes. Which eye is it messing with? Just one of them? Very swoopy. W flower. Thank you, AA. You're so nice today, AA. This is nice. Yeah, I've been having fun having you in stream. Isn't this nice? All right? We get along, we listen, we participate. Bless both. I like it. It is super simple, but still pretty great. Yeah. One more. Gonna read Joe's comment too. I really appreciate this piece, not just for its message, but for how it's delivered. The flower mirrors the emotional journey. Complex, intentional, layered, layered of dark against light and high contrast with depth. Inviting, while there's a gentleness in this abstraction that makes a difficult truth approachable. The interplay of humor and vulnerability, like it disarms while it teaches. It artfully allows the viewer to peel back layers at their own pace, arriving at something quietly profound, the freedom and release. You make consistent, beautiful work both visually and conceptually. I love it. I love you so much. Let go of the cactus. And it was Joe that reminded us of the whole letting go of the cactus. So this poem was very much inspired by her. Kaleidoscope. Yeah. Wish me had flowers. Like wish we had flowers like that in real life. One of my hopes for my technological space one day is going to be to try and incorporate these kind of flowers into real life. Right. It won't be real life really, but it will be experientially real life like ideally. Let go of the cactus, it says. Someone gave me a cactus. Didn't say why, just smiled, and there I was holding it. I trusted them, didn't check for thorns. Ouch, too late. And first, I called it lesson, then punishment, then my emotional support cactus. Carried it everywhere, slept with it, bragged about the pain. Look how strong I am, still holding it. No gloves. But truth is, this strength, it wasn't in holding on, it was in saying no and letting it drop. At first, I missed the weight, missed the drama, the identity, the noble suffering, but now my hands are free. And honestly, I'm into smoothies and hugs and people who plant flowers instead. Someone tries to hand me another cactus, I laugh. Been there, bloomed despite of it. Ah, yeah. Bloom despite of it. Yeah, nice. You can try. Give me more cactus to hold on to. Flowers for the world to see. I want to eat the yummy flower. Yes, at some point. I would like for them to have scents as well. And I mean, why not for them to have a taste? We got to keep them on the low. If you got one viewer, it's possible you have everyone watching. That's a trip, Krios. You say some crazy stuff sometimes, bro, but I like that one. Yes. Who knows? Maybe this is the only stream that's being watched right now. Probably not. Probably not, but I like the delusion. Love is true. Cactus and flowers. Yeah, cactus flowers are beautiful for what it's worth in that way too. Thank you, friends, for being willing to see these flowers with me. I appreciate you. It only takes one big studio to see. Think about it. It's true, Kriaz. It's true. I am patiently creating day by day, making more and more. So I trust that one day I'll have a home for every single one of my pieces, right? And I'll take great pride in making sure they go where they're supposed to be, at the quality they're supposed to be, right? And that they'll be appreciated in the places they find themselves within. Hair melt, what's your favorite car? Do I have a favorite car right now? My favorite conceptual car that's not technically in the market, but might be at some point, I think is the Aptera. Hey Google. Oh, it doesn't work that way anymore. They killed my Hey Google. All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out places. This is what it looks like. I think that's at this point my favorite conceptual car. If I could pick, if someone could be, hey Mel, what's your favorite car? And after you name it, it's instantly going to just like spawn in your driveway and it's going to be yours fully legally. That would be it right now. And then like the big one, the one with the 100 kilowatt hour battery. Yeah. I'll literally never have to charge that thing ever. Literally. Like, I'm not even joking. I mean, maybe if I drove it actually extensively, like if I tried to like put a dent in its battery, but the way that I would drive it, the way that I drive, I would never charge it again. It has a solar roof and it can put, I think, something like 40 miles into your battery a day. All right. So the averages of how much I spend driving in a month, I would never have to charge it again. Your dreams will always have a home with me. That's nice. Are you a car guy? I am. More so electric vehicles than the combustion stuff. But yeah, I do appreciate car technology. It is a matter of, I think, indoctrinated obsession. My dad took me to car shows from a very young age. So I definitely did have uh, influence, I'll say. Right before I had the cognitive ability to discern what I wanted to like or not. Yeah, like Shantai, learn how to put your phone down. She did another wheel,
Lois was fine.
and then another wheel. Phone went flying out her pocket, hits her in the back of the head. What a beautiful sentiment to share with anyone, Jakun. And I trust wholeheartedly that you live this truth too. Powerful stuff. Your dreams will always have a home with me. I do appreciate that. I'll continue sharing these dreams with you, friends. I'll continue creating. I'll continue showing up despite the fact that it might be hard. Right? I feel like there is a certain level of pride to be had in showing up despite it being difficult. It's like the matter of like climbing a mountain, right? People do climb mountains because it's a beautiful view in part, right? But there's a reason that people climb certain mountains, right? And certain mountains they don't, right? There are some mountains that are more dangerous than others, some mountains that are harder than others. Kilimanjaro is a pretty high mountain, right? It's hard to climb it. Some people do have help, true. But doing that difficult thing is something that people take pride in. And I feel there is something about my character that does thrive in that environment. But it's also a matter of like, is that okay? Should that make it acceptable? I just found out yesterday that Carman Gla has made a comeback. It looks really cool. I don't know what that is, Nancy. Let me check if I search that. Yeah, Carman Gia. Ooh. Ooh. A Volkswagen Carman Gia. That's what it used to. It's still a concept sketch, but pretty clean. Very clean. And I'm not opposed to Volkswagens. Like our family has been Volkswagen obsessed for a very long time. I'm pretty sure my mom drove a Volkswagen when she met my dad. Yeah. There's been many Volkswagens in our family. A new one. Is it going to be electric? I sure hope so. I'm not seeing anything jumping out at me immediately like, oh, all new electric? Oh, Carmen. I don't know. I'm seeing a video, but I'm detecting AI-ness. Yep, this is AI. That's big sash. I don't think it's real, Nancy. Oh, we got bamboozled. Yeah, it would be cool though. They do have a bunch of other pretty sick of concepts coming out as well right now. All right. What a beautiful sentiment. Love is true. We aren't perfect, but love is true. This is true. We push for a better version of ourselves. Siobhan, you're a blessing to a tumultuous world. Thank you for being you. It's true. Jovan is a blessing to a tumultuous world. I find myself tumultuized, and Jovan has been an absolute blessing in this world. There is a new. I just checked. Let's see if I check something else. Maybe if I don't say electric and I say 2025. The Volkswagen Gian is a vintage car model, not a model from the year 2025. Yeah, I know that. I know that. But there's no. All of those are AI sites. There's a lot of, unfortunately, AI car YouTube channels right now because it's very easy to create. You can like literally like check this. Let me show you, Nancy. It's like this. Something like this, right? I go. This is gonna be because like I tried, but I couldn't find anything. Like there was no official Volkswagen documentation. Only like AI websites. Create an image. And then I'm gonna add. So I entered here, create an image of the VW Carman Gia. But in the age of 2025, it is completely electric. It is zooped up for the modern audience, but it still remains and contains that original essence of the original car. All right, and then we hit that send button, and then we wait. All right, and then there are other websites, something like Runway, for example, that you basically take that image that it's going to spit out, and then I tell that language model, or it's not really a language model, video model, I tell it basically maintaining the quality of this image. Technically, I would like, if I wanted to actually give that product, if I wanted to like make a video, for example, of it, I would take that image and then I would take it to an upscaler, which basically just adds pixels in the entirety of that stuff, right? More pixels means more information for the language model to catch onto. And then I would take that into Runway. And then I say to Runway, keeping the car in the middle unchanged, right? Don't have any defects or flickering on the lights or any weird body morphing, right? You basically just describe it like, don't mess up the geometries, but have it pan from left to right around the scene of this car, right? It's it would like build you a video that looked like the one I just saw of that car. There really is a new. I don't know if there's an electric version. I tried. I did look, Nancy, like twice now. I looked. I'm not sure, unfortunately, that it's real. Right. That's like one of the big things we're getting bamboozled by these days. Is there's so much, like it's so easy. That's the thing, right? Like it's happening right now in the background. And like this is now the official like Google overview. It's letting me know, yeah, I know what you're talking about, the Carmen Ghia, but it's a vintage car model. There is no model in the year 2025. The Carmen Ghia was produced from 1953 to 1974. The large Type 34 Carmen Ghia, in particular, was a popular model with a distinct four-eyed front end and a rear end reminiscent of contemporary American models. So yeah, like it's that car definitely did exist. But all of these, like I'm seeing a bunch of YouTube videos, but I can see that's AI. I can see that's AI. I can see that's AI too. That's definitely AI, right? So and then I'm like on the actual Volkswagen, like www.volkswagennewsroom.com, and the first hit they have is of the Carmen Ghia, like the original old school model. And then I scroll down further, and then there is a Renlist, which is another website that's basically ripping uh, like a Porsche, like basically ripping one of those AI videos. And then there's a Facebook post that also is another AI photo, right? So I don't know. I'm not convinced. But we have now we have one too. Like look at that. The year 2025, Carmen Ghia. Yeah, look at that. Isn't that sicketh bebicketh? Just like that, we created a modern version for the modern audience. Right? Like that's literally how easy it is. Right? That's how easy it is for them to bamboozle your brains. Like, and this is clean. This is really good. Like extremely good. Like you literally I tried. I can find zero faults with that image. Right, the reflections in the window, on the bodywork, the contouring, the way the wheels look, the grill work, the symmetry, the way the lights match one another. If anything, if it made a single mistake, it made this bar just a schmidts too short. You see, and compared to that one. But other than that, yeah, there you go. Now reading, there is an EV Carmen Ghia. And like I don't know what to tell you. Uh, let me let's ask a language model. Maybe that could help. Uh, let me hit search, paste. Is there a Carmen Ghia for the year 2025? Searching. As of now, Volkswagen has not officially announced a 2023 Carmen Ghia model. While there is considerable excitement and speculation online about a potential revival of this classic model, these discussions are primarily based on fan-made AI renderings, concept designs, and speculative videos. For instance, a video now titled New 2025 Volkswagen Carmen Ghia Shocks the World showcases a modern interpretation of the car made by AI, but it does not confirm any official production plans. The original Carmen Ghia was produced from 1955 to 1974. It remains a beloved classic, and its potential return continues to inspire automotive enthusiasts. However, until Volkswagen provides an official statement or announcement, any news about a 2025 model should be considered speculative. Yeah, the AI is not bad. It's not bad. It's just a matter of like, it's like something like this, right? Like now, we've spent like a while of me going back and forth of being like, no, this is 100% fake. It's like people making, like, just like I did. And it took me a few moments. And then I made a hyper realistic rendering of a 2025 electric Carmen Ghia, right? I would not mind driving that car. That looks sick. That looks so good, right? I drive that car with a smile on my face, but it doesn't exist, right? It's not real. It's real on my screen right now, but unfortunately not in the real world, right? Volkswagen is not making that. And again, like it takes a fuck ton of money in production costs and tooling to get to the point where you actually have a car. So if there was a car coming out this year, like the year is almost halfway done, we would have known about it at this point, right? They do have like some other new cars. Like there was a motor show recently. Let me show you this. New VW cars at the recent motor show in Shanghai. Motor show, Shanghai. Here we go. Check this out. Right? These are some of the cars that Volkswagen showed. Right? There they are. So this was the actual Volkswagen. Right? And maybe you can see like some design elements. Here they are next to next. You can see some design elements of that old Gaia, but that's what they want their new cars to look like, the new Volkswagens. And I mean, it's cool. And yeah, that's what I saw recently. Those are all made in China as well. Yeah. But no Carmen Ghia for us, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. There we go. Some peeps converted their Carmen Ghia to an EV. Oh, that I can believe. That I can believe. 100%. You can buy body kits. And if you have Carmen Ghia body, boom, that's easy easy. That I can 100% believe. But the way you said it, like I'm reading there is an EV Carmen Ghia, right? It's like, for me, the way I interpreted that is that they're making one so that people can buy them. Here you go. You want an EV Carmen Ghia, come to the shops. We'll sell you one, kind of vibes. A lot of car brands are going electric. That's all Tesla's fault. It's not Tesla's fault. It is the way of the dodo kind of vibes, right? Combustion engines are disgusting. Disgusting things. They pump noxious gas into the air that you do not want to breathe, right? They make a bunch of noise. They lose a bunch of energy as heat. It's not a good form of technology, right? It was useful, but it's not that good if we're considering efficiency, right, as a metric to achieve. So electric is just more efficient, right? And technically, if you look at the statistics, has less chance of making you go explode iosos. If you want to believe that or not, right? The numbers don't lie. Less EVs explode than combustion vehicles by a large margin, like a large margin. So it's more a matter of electric is better in every conceivable way, literally. Less parts, less maintenance, a more convenient drivetrain, more more efficiency when it comes to braking. You can actually store the energy that you would lose as heat on brake pads and wear, that you can put back into your battery on a downslope, for example. Like, yeah, it's not like if it's Tesla's fault, you're giving them a compliment. I do believe they did accelerate the transition to renewables. They do need to be given their credit where that's due. In reflection of the light shines onto me. Your light blesses me so, and I'm forever grateful. There really is. Yeah. I rebooted and now it's working. Relevance. What's your favorite tank? I'm not into military stuff at all. Like I think the only military vehicle that I do know is now because of you, the elephant, something something, and I think I know Panzer, and I think I know Apache helicopter because of the memes, and that's like it, right? And I think I know B-20 because it costs $2 billion, and I found that ridiculous, right? So like that's my extent of military vehicle knowledge. There you go. It kind of bothers me that everything AI is being flagged. Not all AI is bad or misleading. No, I'm not saying that. I hope that was very clear. I was just saying that it was AI, right? Like all of the speculation about there being this new Carmen Gia electric, all of that was AI, right? And that's just to me a matter of fact where it's very easy. Like for instance, right, there's a whole niche on YouTube of people making car content where they go and they look at a car and they talk about the potential specs and the range and like there's a bunch of stuff to talk about, right? And then if there is no car or if I have no access to that world to go and be close to one of those cars and I still want to create that content, now AI gives me a means to where I can imagine, for example, that old Volkswagen, and I know people might have a fondness to that car, and I can generate some AI art, and then I can put it like for me, what's bad, if there's anything bad or misleading, is it's people. It's people being bad and misleading by trying to pose this content as like, oh, this car shocks the world. Because no, it doesn't. It doesn't shock the world. You're lying. And nobody is shocked because nobody knows about this thing other than the people that's kind of like in the loop of seeing the AI art of it. So yeah, like that's to me the problem. And it's like a matter of not being able to discern necessarily as well, right? That's also a big thing. If you give AI access to everything, it becomes dangerous. If you give people access to everything, they become dangerous. I made training wheels. The AI is done, but you can make your own. It's true. Training wheels. I see. Yeah, for big AI, that's in the sky. Some peeps converted their karma. Yeah, exactly. I don't know what you're talking about. Working on PlayStation 9, basically. Nice. PlayStation 9. Yeah, who needs PlayStation 6 when you can just go straight 9, right? Flip that 6 on its head and off on your races. Science to control reality. The science to control reality is consciousness. Yes, brains. It's nighttime now. Controlling self was just a start. I need to pick up atoms with mind. I try every day, Krios. One of these days, I'm gonna start figuring it out. One of these days, I'm gonna get the power to be able to lift something without having to touch it with myself. I appreciate you, friends. Look at us. Yes, yeah. A freaking bug just flew into my ear. How dare he? Ah, what a pleasure. We did it. We showed up. And now we have to say goodbye. We read our poem. I appreciate your friends. Thank you for joining me. It's always a pleasure having you here. I can do airbending. I'm working on that too. Yeah, I love that experience where you're like water bending in the ocean and you're pushing the waves and then you're like, have a great time. Thank you. Love you, friends. I'll see you again soon. Goodbye. Cheers.